agreed to meet up with Norah at a cafe nearby. I wonder if this is supposed to make a contrast between having a computer conversation versus a human conversation. I almost didn't recognize her when she came in and sat down by my at my table.
Evelyn! It's been so long since the last time I saw you in person.
She used to stick to a very subdued and professional look. Guess she really wanted to put those days behind her.
It's definitely been a while. 3 years?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Feels like no time at all.
Oh my god. I am 100% sure that Norah is a cyber terrorist and she wants to take down Evelyn. I'm 100% sure.
Eliza?
No,
Take
yeah,
down
Eliza.
We're Evelyn.
Yeah,
she wants to take us down.
No,
Yeah,
she
that
wants to get Evelyn on her cyber terrorist side, which I'm down with.
Well, I'm glad you're back doing something. But you didn't tell me what the new job is.
Oh, well, it's, being a proxy counselor for Eliza.
You're kidding me. That's an interesting choice.
I'm not quite sure why I did it. Maybe I thought I'd be able to see things in a new light.
Wait, so do the people at the counseling office know?
No, not yet. I should tell them. Probably. I don't know.
Oh.
It's unkind to keep it a secret.
It's unkind to keep it a secret. I'm sure it'll get out eventually, one way or another.
Yeah, it probably will. Evelyn, how are you these days? I mean, really, how are you?
Yeah, I think Norah is being like, hey, we haven't seen each other in 3 years. Want to hang out? Oh, you just got a new job?
No. 3 years? 3 years is how long what's his name has been dead.
Oh.
And they're talking about a secret. Do they know? There's got to be something there, right?
Yeah, I feel like,
something
something's happening. Like, what is it? Oh my god, do you think that maybe he killed himself because he went to the therapy or something?
But why would she say it's fun to keep it a secret? That seems like a really weird thing to say if that's... Because I thought that too, but that seems like
Maybe it's just something stupid she said, you know?
Yeah.
She's just, maybe she's like an adrenaline, a person who...
Oh yeah, she's like, it's fun to keep it a secret that my partner went to therapy and then killed themselves.
No, it's fun to keep it a secret that we're cyber terrorists.
Oh.
Yeah, like, you know?
Yeah.
I'm better. Not by a lot, but still better.
Oh yeah, and she also said, for the last 3 years I've been telling myself about... I'm going to make myself better, too.
Then I'm finally going to start addressing my problems.
So maybe both of them were close to the person who died.
I knew you were working at that bookstore for a while, but other than that, it's like you dropped off the edge of the planet.
Well, I wasn't up to much.
I checked your social media once in a while, but nothing. Not that I blame you. I hate all those apps.
Yep, cyber terrorist.
Yeah, I deleted them.
Perfect. I struggle to find the words to talk about what happened, but they don't come. Go ahead.
Does Norah not know? Because I don't know. Like, I just can't imagine, like...
Maybe Norah does know, and she's, like, not trying to bring it up, you know? Like,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
Right, but I feel like it's a little insensitive to be like, oh yeah, like, you know, like, this horrible, like devastating thing happens. I checked your social media and you were not available. I don't know. I'm really curious to see, like, what
I don't know what happened. It's like...
There's something dark in my mind blocking me when I try to go there. Avoid.
I guess I'm still not ready to talk about it yet.
It's okay. Take the time you need.
So she does know. She just...
I'm sorry, Evelyn. I knew you were in a difficult place after what happened, and I wanted to say something. But I worried that maybe you don't want to hear from anyone from your past. Maybe you wanted to be left alone and not reminded of the old job.
Oh.
It's nice to know you were thinking of me.
It's nice to know you were thinking of me.
Well, I'm glad. I was kind of going through a lot myself last couple years.
That's right. What about you? How is your life these days? What's it like being a rock star?
It's a lot of work, actually. I have to prepare for the show next week. I have 2 collaborations ongoing, and I'm applying for funding for another. A big one. I'm also advising on an art activism group that makes art installations to challenge people to think about the ways technology is affecting their lives. Oh yeah, and I'm working on this Kind of like it's a granular synthesis engine, but with a new twist to it.
Cyber criminal.
It should be interesting.
Granular synthesis. Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna Google it, but she's already asking what it is.
It's a way to make sounds out of smaller sounds called grains. Maybe it's better to show you than to explain in words.
Sounds like you're busy, but happy.
Yeah, it's good. I make less money than I used to, but I don't care. Old me might have worried about that. Not anymore, though. Sometimes I do take a little contract coding work, but I'm making most of my rent with booking fees and selling music and so on. Kind of crazy. Kind of scary, but good.
If it makes you happy, it seems worth it. Maybe I should consider moving in a direction like that.
You should. Listen, I hope you can get away from the industry too, at some point. Ah, that reminds me what I was going to tell you about. Our old boss is back on his bullshit.
Rainer? Soren?
Soren Lloyd Rose. Celebrated psychologist, entrepreneur, and creepo.
Oh, no.
I should have known he'd make things awkward.
Wait, he wasn't ever weird around you? Did I ever tell you about the time that he hit on me with a story about past lives and the thread of destiny?
Oh my god, he's
No.
one of those guys. Fuck, I hate them.
Wait, what?
Ugh, this is a good one. Okay.
Yay.
It was early on when the team was still pretty small. 7 or 10 people maximum. He'd gone out with some executives to dinner. And who knows what else. He came back to the office super late. I think it was like at least 11, maybe later. And the whiskey smell was just surrounding him. Like he jumped into a whiskey bathtub with his clothes on. Maybe he'd like to do that, I don't know. Anyway, I was still there for some reason. I was in the crunch mindset. He came over to my desk and started to mumble about... I don't even know how to describe it. Just this nonsensical rambling. He started by saying how much he hated businessmen, how ridiculous they are, that they don't know anything. He said that a few times. Then he said he could see my soul, that I was like a reincarnated spirit of... I don't remember. He said some name.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna find him and I'm going to kill him.
Like a person's name?
Like a mythological name. I didn't hear it very well, but it was like a Buddhist spirit or deity or
Oh
something
my
like that.
god, I'm gonna die.
Did he unironically use the term spirit animal?
I'm going to... No, he's gonna talk about Buddhist mysticism and I'm gonna find this not real person and slit their throat.
Then he goes on to say how he and I, all of us on the team, we're all these reincarnated spirits sent to relieve human suffering at the end of the world.
Is he a Scientologist?
And we're connected by a thread of destiny that draws us to each other again and again over multiple lifetimes.
No, this is like shit men say. No.
He talked about it like it was just like a red string you could see. So I'm thinking, is this like some kind of pickup technique?
Yeah. So I'm sure there's gonna be guys listening to this being like, what? This doesn't happen. Like, it does.
It does.
It happens,
Yeah.
and it has to stop. We have to just eliminate them.
Yeah.
You know how people will talk to you and say, oh, you are the reincarnation of an ancient goddess or something. Ugh, just because they are horny.
Yes.
Yes.
And I know someone's gonna be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it happens.
No.
This is the world that you don't see.
I'm sure he's tried that exact line.
I'm sure he's tried that exact line. It really sounds like something he'd do.
He went on some more like that for a while, and I didn't know what to do. I wanted to leave, but he was blocking me where he was standing.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm not a man, so I don't know this. But I noticed that men do that, and I don't know if they know that they're doing that.
I think so. I remember seeing a thread on Twitter one time. Where, not that I'm saying this like applies to all men, but this guy was talking about like he was like, oh, I like just never thought to myself of all these like little ways that like women have to like think about these things for like safety reasons because like he doesn't himself have to consider that, right?
Yeah, I always wonder because this has happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because just people in general, male, female, or otherwise, where a man, maybe this has happened to me with women, but I don't recall it, will be standing in front of a doorway, or I'll be in a confined area, or just like they're,
They move to block your path?
They block my path. Or they're in control of something, like they're in control of fixing my car or in control of this, and they hit on me, and I have no option to respond negatively to this in my mind. Like, I can't, oh, I'm just checking your, what's the word for when they check your car's exhaust? Whatever that is. And they're standing in front of the doorway, and they like, oh, are you married? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yep, sorry, I am married. Yep.
I already belong to someone.
I'm already someone else's property.
I'm already someone else's possession. Don't worry about it. I
either say I'm married, and sometimes when I panic, I just say I'm like fully gay, but sometimes that doesn't work, so I just go back to married. And they're like, oh, where's your ring? Oh, we don't believe in it. Like, I just say I'm married, because that's just, I'm sure there's like more nuanced ways to do it, but usually in that moment, I'm just like already nervous. And not because like I think all men are rapists. I'm an awkward person. But so I don't know if guys are aware that they do this.
So I couldn't simply go. I had to keep listening to him. Finally, he mentioned that he would be open to the possibility of sleeping with me. And then he passed out on the couch immediately.
Oh my
You're
God.
kidding.
No, not at all. Of course, we never talked about it after that. Certainly I would not bring it up. I wonder if he even remembers. Nothing like that happened again. But I think it was because I took care to not be around if it seemed like he was going to be drunk at the office. Ugh, I wonder if he's still that way. I'm sure he is.
Dear everybody who says they wished they lived in the land of Mad
Men.
Men. Or at least women. I'm like, what?
Why?
Have you seen the show?
Yeah. What? Oh, like, literally no woman has a good time? What?
Peggy barely makes it out alive.
Wow.
And now he's back. Isn't it exciting? He messaged me the other day wanting to talk to me about some new startup he's putting together.
He left Skanda?
He's planning to. It's a secret for now.
Wait.
Skanda? So she used to work for Skanda?
That's what it sounds like. Maybe they acquired Eliza.
No, maybe she quit Skanda and she's coming back as a low-level employee.
Oh, maybe she built Eliza.
Yeah, I'm wondering, did she work at a higher level at Skanda, coming back in as a lower-level employee, and she's gonna kill everybody?
Well, because that's why she says, like, no, like, it's fun to, like, keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Because that makes it a little bit less serious than, like...
We're the cyber terrorist.
Maybe.
Yeah, because that just seems like something that
No.
do.
Maybe she's kind of like doing like she wants to see how things work from like the bottom level. Like she's like a secret shopper type thing.
And then we kill everybody.
Yeah.
And then we take we
No.
hack Eliza from the inside.
Listen, you need to, because like you want to like report on how all these things work, right?
I don't think that she works for them anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
That does, to me, that
So
doesn't-
maybe she built it and now she's gonna take it down.
I think she just worked at a higher level. Somebody died because of it in some way. Then she took a 3-year break doing whatever, working at the bookshop, and then she was like, I have a plan.
Yeah.
I have a plan.
Maybe.
I'm going to go in. I'm going to pretend I'm a low-level employee, and I'm going to do all this crazy shit. She has a plan. I know she does. And she was like, I got to get my life together. I know what I can do. Destroy the company who killed who I love.
He asked me to join, and I said, no, there's absolutely no way.
Why stop at the company? You should just destroy the world.
I think the person who died was somebody she deeply cared about. Who that person was the person who designed Evelyn in order to help
Eliza?
in order to help design Eliza in order to help people. He died somehow. He was murdered or something.
Well, I assumed that that he took his own life, but
Or he died in some way for some reason, and now she's seeing how they're using Eliza. She doesn't like it. She's gonna destroy everything.
Maybe a long time ago I'd be interested in a chance to start a new company with someone famous like Soren at the top. You know, a time when I'd put up with his shittiness because I believed in what we were doing. Change the world, you know the speech.
See?
Or, if we didn't change the world, at least we might get rich trying. I don't think that way anymore. I'm tired of the tech business. I'm tired of what guys like him represent. This industry can have fun eating itself and everything around it, causing as many problems as it solves. I don't want to be a part of it. It took me a while to see it, but I feel some responsibility for the world we live in now.
You've really changed, Norah.
It doesn't feel like I've changed. It just feels like I know more about myself than I used to. I want to be creative, be myself to the maximum. Now I know you weren't lying about leaving social media because I posted about this. A lot.
Yeah, I guess I missed it.
Evelyn seems to know something.
Here's what I'm interested to know. I'm interested to know... So, Skanda is a tech company. What I'm interested to know is, like, was Skanda responsible for the technology and then, like, another company used it to create Eliza? Or did they create it with the intention of creating Eliza? Who was responsible for Eliza?
I think Skanda hasn't changed in its intention in any way, and they all probably worked for Skanda, and they're just remembering back to being like, why did we even like doing this? It fucking sucked.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like you can build a machine learning and deep learning system, like the AI system, but how you choose to use it.
Okay, so as I was saying, why did we enjoy doing this? It fucking sucked. And she probably worked on that system. And I don't think Skanda itself, I think the people in charge, like that guy, that fuckboy who's in charge, they were making it for their own reasons. And the guy who died was being remembered as somebody who wanted to change the world for the better. And they are all saying like, yeah, I can't believe we believed that bullshit. But in reality, these guys suck. Not the guy who died, but the other guy.
Do you think that maybe they created... But, okay, what I'm saying is, like, when you create the technology, that doesn't... The application is a separate thing. So how they choose to use the system that they created. So, like, I'm wondering if... Did he die, and then they chose to use that system for Eliza? Or did they build it as Eliza from the beginning? That's my question.
I think they built it as quote-unquote Eliza from the beginning, but changed the intention of how they will use Eliza. Does that make sense?
Oh, well, what did you think was the original intention?
The original intention is for her to be a therapist that helps people.
Yeah.
But now they're using it...
Oh, commercialized?
Commercialized, but in a negative way that she doesn't like. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Mm-hmm. It can still be doing the same task.
Oh, commoditized.
Yeah, they can still be doing the same task while using it for a different intention. Like, I think the guy who created it, or this group of people who created it, were like, oh, I want to help people. I want people to be happy. And she is like, okay, I made this. I'm going to go work for it, see how it's worked. And she goes, I wish people could do this. I wish people could do that. All the while thinking, I've helped make this, and you're making it suck.
So then what do you think was, like, if they originally created to be Eliza with that noble purpose, what do you think the difference was then?
I don't know. We're going to have to find out. But I have this feeling that she is part of the team who made it. The guy who died probably had the ability to have it in a direction that's better than it is going now.
Because it sounds kind of like what I mentioned at the beginning, which was that you could have this system that, like, makes suggestions and recommendations, but not that is, like, a dictated script that you follow, you know? Something that is, like an assistant to the therapist, but not the therapist. Yeah.
But since, like, there's, like, oh, we can't be responsible for this, so now you have to listen. I also just have this really bad feeling when they keep talking about social media and stuff, that they're also collecting all that data for some sort of thing.
A lot can happen in 3 years. Now I just hope maybe I could talk to other people who are in the same situation I was in. I want young people, especially women, to know that yes, it is possible to get rich by working with guys like Soren. But there is a big cost too. I mean, there's always a cost. Maybe a cost you didn't think about before. Or maybe it's a cost you thought you would be okay with paying, but then when the debt comes due, you realize, oof, it's bigger than you thought.
Norah pauses for a moment. I wonder what the cost was for
Now
her.
that's my conclusion. But you, on the other hand, you should go and say hello to him.
To Soren.
Yeah, he's giving this big keynote talk next week, you know? It's the reveal of his new startup. Many people will be watching.
He's gonna be a turbo douche.
Why should I go to that?
It will be interesting, don't you think? You're already working as a proxy for Eliza. That must be giving you some new perspectives. Now you'll get to see what Soren believes the next step is. Don't tell me you're not the least bit curious.
I don't know. Maybe I am. It's free to attend?
Of course not. It's at one of those conferences you pay thousands of dollars to get into. But lucky for you, I have an all-access pass.
I don't trust this whole thing. I don't trust this.
To set up.
This is
She
a setup.
She wants to get together with us out of the blue after 3 years, and then she gives us an all-access pass to go meet Soren.
Yeah, I don't trust this
take
shit.
it.
Really? Are you sure?
Somebody here is a cyber terrorist.
Yeah, he had one sent to me. As if there's any way I would go to a snake person convention like that.
No, I don't trust this story.
Snake person.
Ah, you know, people who are like snakes. Venture capitalists. Biz dev.
If you're so against it, why do you think I should go?
Yeah,
Because I already made my decision. You need to go make yours.
we could. Yeah, I don't.
You're coming up from the cave you were in for the last 3 years, and you need to decide what you're going to do next, right?
Norah leans over the table towards me, a serious look in her eye. Nope, that's a tactic people do. When they lean in, eye contact.
Evelyn, you're one of the smartest people I've met in my whole
not
life.
just-
I'm serious.
It's a tactic.
It's not just a tactic,
it's
it's
a
also
tactic.
how people show that they're listening to you.
Nope, it's a tactic. When people are listening to you, they're trying to manipulate you.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh my god. I was like, Mari, no, don't tell people this. That you're gonna make them think that nobody, like,
I was being sarcastic.
whenever people look at you, they're manipulating you.
I was just kidding. I'm so sorry if you thought I was being for real.
No, it's not. No.
I say sarcasm way too dryly, and I have to find a way to go to, like, intonate it more.
Just say Kappa.
Kappa. I should say Kappa when I'm being sarcastic, because I'll often say things that are extremely dark and sarcastic, and people just go, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was. What?
Yeah.
I'm fine."
Yeah, I get the, like, are you okay? And I also, I sometimes have trouble being friends with or dating people who are gullible, because I just, without even meaning to, I take full advantage of it.
I think I say things extremely sarcastically, but I don't do the correct intonation for it. And so people just have to figure it out.
I've seen the way you approach things like this. You're going to research and learn as much as you can. And only then, when you feel like you know enough, you'll make your decision. Isn't that right? You have more to contribute to the world. But you want to know you're contributing the right things in the right way. I've always admired that about you. Anyway, I should get going. I have a rehearsal for a show to get to.
You and I have both definitely gotten plenty of feedback in the years that we've been doing this on the channel for comments that we made that were completely sarcastic or not serious, and people taking them 100% at face value.
I'm like, do you really think that?
Do you really think like, and I feel like sometimes it's for things that are, like, completely outlandish, and I'm just like, what? Like, how?
Yeah, I obviously did not mean that, and I was playing a character.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, if somebody does make eye contact with you,
And
their only
leans
intention,
forward, it means that their intention is to show you they're listening, usually.
I think it's because they watched a video on pickup artistry and they're trying to manipulate you. So, yeah, it's happening, and I refuse to look at you.
Tell me more.
No,
You know what I love about you?
don't.
You're adventurous.
Stop. Get out of here, Richard LaRuna.
You're so, you're up for anything, and I really appreciate that about
God,
you.
remember how scary that was?
Yeah.
We're talking about Super Seducer, and it was really scary.
I want to go back and watch those and just start peppering those tactics into our videos without telling you.
Oh my god.
And I'm not even going to tell you I'm doing it. I'm just going to do
No,
it
it's too scary. It's too scary. like, I don't think that he's, like, a genuinely bad person or anything like that. I just think that when he explains his tactics, which are literally what he's doing, I just get really scared.
Yeah, well, I think that, and it's also because I think that there's some things that like people do innately without thinking to themselves, this is a manipulation tactic.
They just do it because they want to genuinely
connect and do it. But when you're thinking about it as like, yes, this is the next step in my seduction protocol, like that's when it becomes weird.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, like, you know, like maybe you're on a date and you're like, oh, like touch this person's shoulder because like I want to touch them and like, but I.
Yeah, like if you're a socially awkward person and you want to know what to do, great. If you're somebody
who's like, what do I do next to make this person? Oh, it's just, yeah, okay.
But first of all, I do want to give him credit because I think
now we're talking about Super Seducer.
No, I want to give him credit because I do genuinely think he didn't intend to come off that way because he does listen to feedback. Yeah. Like being like, people are like, there wasn't enough things for consent, and he puts that in. Yeah. There weren't enough people of color. He puts that in. And then people are like, oh, I want gay and lesbian things. He puts that in. So I just want to say that, like, I think he says and does things that are stupid, but I don't think he means them to be in the way that it comes off. Based, like, at first I was, like, a hater, but now I'm kind of a stan. Yeah. Now I'm kind of a Richard LaRuna stan.
I'm still waiting for a Super Seducer 3 release date.
Yeah, what the fuck? Can we all tweet Richard LaRuna that Mari and Stacy want to know when Super Seducer 3 comes out and we are officially stans?
It was really good to see you, though. Really, really good. I promise not to be a stranger anymore. Okay.
Norah dashes off to her rehearsal. She's a busy person now. Busy but happy, it seems like. Is that the secret? Keep yourself busy? Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Ooh. Gotta check my phone. There's a reason they're called patience games. The trick is to not get ahead of yourself. Sometimes what seems like easy forward progress is actually something that's going to get you...
This is about solitaire. So just letting you know.
Irrevocably stuck, but I think there's a second layer to this. You know, like life. Think carefully before each move and you'll start winning games. And remember, you had a good head for this kind of thing back in school. So I dare say you might just need to get into the mindset again. You can do it, M3. Meredith M. Mercer, game designer extraordinaire, Saitama, Japan. Re-interview? Should we start here? Seems like my original message might have been... Okay, you go ahead.
Hey, seems like my original message might have gotten lost in the shuffle. Believe me, I know how it is. I feel like every email in my inbox starts this way. So I'm looping back around on this. Any interest in speaking with me about the origins of parametric therapy and Eliza in particular, see below. Greetings. I'm trying to track down a certain... we might get some answers about the stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to track down a certain Evelyn Ishino-Aubrey, who was one of the principal developers of the Eliza system from Skanda. Is that you? If not, apologies and please ignore. I'm something of a cultural commenter who's looking to write about the early origins of parametric therapy and where it's gone from there. Does it deliver on its promise? What do the people who worked on it think of it now? On a more general level, how has introducing increasing levels of automation into human life affected us? There are some well-known names that seem to grab all the press and speaker slots when it comes to this subject, but I'm interested in speaking with people who might have had a different perspective, maybe a more skeptical or even subversive perspective. If you're willing to participate, just let me know and we can set something up in person or online, whichever works best for you. It could be a great opportunity for you to get your side of the story out there. Peter Gerd, writer and agitator.
Oh, God.
He's one of those.
Oh, my God, that's on his fucking Twitter profile. I know it.
No. He's not even a disruptor. He's an agitator.
He sounds like one of those guys who tries to debate me on the internet.
No.
Over semantics,
no.
Too. Yeah, yeah. You're like...
Debate me about what you meant by this tweet.
Did you just make a joke about devil's advocate? Here, this is what it's meant to, like, to stand. I'm like, okay, first of all, I know that you think that I am stupid, and if you explain this to me, I'll be sexually attracted to you, but I won't be, and I'm just gonna respond to you with gifts.
That's one of the tactics.
Yeah, I know.
Remember, like, show off your intelligence by... Remember, he does this whole thing where he's like, yeah, she says this thing, like, how do you respond? And one of the things is, like, correct her to show off your intelligence. And both of us were like, no!
No! Been a while since I've done that much in a single day. At least now I can relax. Hey,
Hey, Evelyn, it's Ray from the office. Just curious, what kind of cookies do you like?
Don't text me after work hours. Don't respond.
Is this a question about my web history?
Cookies?
Yeah.
I bet this isn't even Ray. I bet this is another Evelyn program Ray made for herself to talk to all the employees.
Hello. What kind of cookies do you like?
Oh, the type I like is kind of obscure. I don't want to give her the yeah.
What?
See,
I like a challenge though. I bake cookies for the team now and then.
I don't believe this.
And I try to mix it up so that everyone gets their favorite at least once.
Yeah, I'm trying to test this.
Okay.
Isn't that a lot of cookies? I don't trust Ray in any way.
It is, but I enjoy making them.
You don't make them, you buy them.
The thing about baking is, once you start, it's pretty easy to just keep going. You have everything out, so you might as well do multiple batches, and the cleanup takes more or less the same amount of time. I don't know much about baking.
No, I see. Give her no information.
You're being so rude.
I don't care. This isn't her. This is clearly a robot.
It's fun.
Yeah, cool. You got no info from me. Baking, huh? Cooking in general is something I feel like I could try to get better at some point.
So nice to see you today.
Good to see you too. Good seeing you too.
We should do that more often.
Hang out, you mean?
I know I said I don't miss working at a big company, but I do miss our old crew sometimes.
Yeah.
I write software for myself now. It's so much better. Come to my show, though. You're coming, right? Please come. Please. Please. Please.
Yeah. What? Norah, ... Oh, no, we're enemies now.
Close.
We've responded with 2 ...
What?
I will go to your show.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm really exhausted. Why is even just texting with people such an effort? I don't know, man. Ooh. Some of these clothes I've had since college. Wish I could reinvent myself like Norah. Not that I would know how. I should tidy up the shelves at some point. Okay, I gotta remember that these tiny things mean something. Some of these books still spark joy, don't they?
Oh, they spark joy.
I hope they do. I really don't feel like doing anything. What happened? I used to have so much energy. I'd stay up until 2 or 3 in the morning writing code. Then I'd be up again at 8, ready to pick up right up where I left off.
I'm tired just thinking about that.
I'm not sure who that person was. Well, so I saw a tweet about someone saying, I used to be able to do the same thing, but now that I have other responsibilities, I can't. Because, so really, it's not that you've changed. You just have other things that you have to do, and that, like, saps up your shit.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I was ever a person that, like, whenever, like, here's the thing, is I used to do that thing where it's like you stay up really late and then you wake up early, you go to work and stuff. But, like, I also used to literally fall asleep at work sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, not at the current job I'm at, but, like, even sometimes, like, I think about it and I'm like, I don't think I was ever a person who, like, actually handled that. I just did it and, like, felt like shit. And, like, now I try to feel like shit less. Do you know what I mean?
Those have been sitting there for like a long time. I meant to put them up. Not sure what I'm waiting for. Wait, what's this? Oh. I'll just get to bed now. One Mind 2.0, escalating the wellness revolution.
Chris Manzoni, bookstore. Went to Matt Magus Books today, and Shelly told me you don't work there anymore. Made me sad. You were the best part of going to that store for me. I always appreciated your presence there.
Oh,
Wink.
fuck. It's a winky face.
No. Best of luck in your new endeavors, wherever they may take you.
Don't respond to this person. Block them. This is you know what this is? The beginning of the TV show You.
His name is Chris. I don't trust.
I don't trust this. He sent us a winky face, so I don't. Red flags. Red alert.
Mm-hmm.
Shields up. 100%. Warp 9. Warp 9. Engage.
I got you a bouquet of 10 red flags. Do you like them?
Shields up. Cut communication. Warp 9. Phasers set phasers to kill. I don't know if you guys haven't seen the TV show You on Netflix.
It's great.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's not creepy at all. Don't worry about it.
It's extremely disturbing because it's so weird because it's basically the plot to a romantic comedy, but through the eyes of what somebody really would be like. if they actually were like that in real life.
Yeah. If it didn't have that glossy veneer of like this is romantic.
Because there are moments where that happens and I kind of fall for it where I go, yeah, maybe. No, wait, no, he's insane.
Yeah. Mary Aubrey. This made me think of you. Are you still mad at me? Nevertheless, I hope you are doing well. Mom, what
fucking shit did you say to me?
Eliza counseling services to be introduced in middle and high schools.
Skanda and Redmond school districts
blah,
so they're collecting data on children. I don't trust it.
Screen students for risk factors, identify the need for interventions and support. No. But like that's any therapist that you talk to as a kid, they have to do that anyway.
Yeah, but I'm seeing between the lines, dude. There's between the lines shit going on.
Do you know that like I refused to see a therapist when I was in high school specifically because they were like, oh, if you have risk factors, we have to notify your parents. And I was like, okay, then I don't want to talk to you.
That really sucks. But for me, and for when I'm really listening to this, I think, oh yeah, I remember that. Because my therapist kept asking me if I wanted to kill myself, and I would say no because I didn't want to be sent to the psych ward.
Even if you don't say something like that, they still have to tell your parents if you're doing, like, there's a whole list of things that if you seem like a danger to yourself, whatever that means, they have to tell your parents.
Well, that's,
I don't know.
There's a list of things I don't want to say in that thing because it would be private information of my family.
Yeah.
But, in my mind, it kind of reminds me, I know this is different, but it reminds me of this memory I have of this police officer coming to our 3rd grade classroom. And he was explaining to us how fingerprints work and how crimes are found. Mm-hmm. And he said, who wants to volunteer to get their fingers, tracked or whatever? You know, get your fingers, whatever, and put it into a database. And of course, all the kids were like, me. And I remember who he picked. And I think back to it now, and I was like, all those kids were the same type of kids. And I was like, that was kind of shitty.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know. I just, when it comes to collecting data on kids, it just weirds me out. Even if I understand the reasoning.
We already do that now.
That we already do that, and the reasoning, I just see how easily it can be exploited. Even though there's a lot of benefits to it. Mm-hmm. It bothers me.
Yeah. The mental health stuff is so, like, tricky because it's like, on the one hand, it's like, yes, of course, like, if a kid tells a therapist, like, that they're gonna hurt themselves, like, you would want the therapist to, like, have the power to, like, tell someone about it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, but does that make people, like, not want to open up?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think back to my experience, and, like, that literally is the reason.
There just is no good answer.
Yeah.
You know, this just is not an easy or good answer.
Mm-hmm.
But for this, I really think it's a red flag for me, where they're like, we're implementing it in middle schools and high schools. These kids are more used to sharing information about themselves in text-based conversations than adults are. So that's what we zeroed in on as the best mode of interaction for this particular application. Very interesting.
The school implementation will take the form of a web-based chat interface. Conversations will take about 10 to 15 minutes each and will be required but not limited to one conversation every 2 weeks.
That reminds me of when I was a teenager and I would go on AIM and talk to Smarter Child for a long time.
Did you see this, though? They have to do it.
Oh, they have to do it?
Yeah, they will, and they're required but not limited to one conversation every 2 weeks.
It's weird because then it's text-based and they can save all of it for later.
Students exhibiting high-risk factors will be referred to interventions, blah, blah.
The goal here is to find the kids that are most at risk and take proactive steps to get them to the tools and support they need to grow in happy, productive members of society. See, this is what, like, it makes me scared because I understand the goal of it, but at the same time I'm like, they're teaching them to, like, be subservient and complacent in this new dystopia that's coming.
It's already here.
Well, yeah.